Hello again, and what is hip? And I hope you enjoyed that very, very brief holiday intro that automatically makes this video a holiday special. Unfortunately, I've been under the weather for quite a long time, and I'm just finally starting to get my voice back, so I really wasn't able to make the holiday special that I usually make this year. So I hope this Sega Genesis ornament and tree make up for that. But anyway, I wanted to show off my Black Friday pickups, end of the year pickups. It was a crazy Black Friday, and I would go as far to say as this was one of the better ones that we've had in the past several years. The deals were really good, and or I should say it was Black Friday month because these deals came out super early. But we're just gonna jump right into it. We're gonna start with the things that were not Black Friday pickups, things that I picked up before, which is not much. So we're gonna start off with the reason why I own an Xbox Series X, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I had a like 40% off coupon for this on Target, so I ended up getting the deluxe edition for like $60. So I pre-ordered this months and months ago, and I was actually thinking about selling my Xbox until this was announced, and I was just like, oh, well, this is going to be the one game that makes me keep my Xbox, and sure enough, this game is absolutely just wonderful. It really does invoke the spirit of the classic Indiana Jones films. Troy Baker does an excellent impersonation of Harrison Ford. I'm having so much fun with this. If this was an exclusive, this would be the reason why you should buy an Xbox. But it's coming out on PlayStation. I just couldn't wait until spring. I wanted to play it now, so I got it for the Xbox, and I'm glad I did, because now I have a reason to actually play my Xbox. But a wonderful game, really great graphics, and really just this amazing sense of adventure. Really makes you feel like an adventurer, which is kind of hard for games to do. And I thought the first-person perspective would be kind of not so great, but I actually really do enjoy it. It makes you somehow still feel like Indiana Jones, even though you very rarely see the character model of Indiana Jones. It's really remarkable how they managed to pull that off. A controversial one, this is Mario and Luigi Brothership. I've heard many mixed things about this. As you can see, I have not opened this, mainly because of all the mixed things that I've heard. I've heard some people say they really love it, but I've heard a lot of people say it was really, really mediocre. And I just have so many games on the backlog right now, to where I just didn't want to dedicate the time to playing a game that I may or may not really like. But I got this during Best Buy's buy two, get one free many, many months ago, so I had this pre-ordered. I love the Mario and Luigi series. I started with Superstar Saga on the Game Boy Advance. Fell in love with that, and I played most of the other ones since then, but each sequel I liked less and less and less. There's never one where I just liked it more. So I don't know. I don't have super high hopes for this. I'm not a big fan of the character design of the electrical plugs. Seems a little plain, a little vanilla to me. But this may be a game that I end up trying when we experience a drought of games, which doesn't seem like we're going to be experiencing anytime soon. So 2 PlayStation 5 games. Dragon Quest III, of course, I had to pick this up. Dragon Warrior 1 was the very first video I made on this channel. It was the game that really got me into RPGs. And I own Dragon Warrior 3 on the Game Boy Color and the NES, but I've been holding off playing them because I knew this was coming out. So this is my first experience with Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest 3, and I'm super, super excited to get more in-depth into it. I've played about 2 hours or so, and it's beautiful. The pixels, the music, the graphics, everything just looks amazing. I got it on the PlayStation 5 instead of the Switch because I wanted that extra graphical fidelity and whatnot. But I mean, look at this watercolor cover page. I mean, it's beautiful. I feel like we don't see a lot of really beautiful cover art on physical games anymore, and I think that's something that we need to kind of bring back, and they definitely did with Dragon Quest III. Okay, so something that I very rarely do is buy limited run games. It's just something I don't tend to do because they're pretty expensive, and the shipping prices are expensive, and then on top of that you have to wait 9 months to a year to get your game. But Limited Run had a special event over here in New York City where they were doing a pop-up store, and they were selling some I guess out-of-print things and some limited edition variants of things that were only available at this event. And so I decided I should go down here and check it out before work, because that's why you live in New York City, for things like these. And so I went down there, and it was actually really cool. It was set up in a kind of an 80s, 90s kind of way. It looked very nostalgic, very rental store-esque. It was pretty fun. And sure enough, they had a whole bunch of out-of-print limited run stuff and a whole bunch of things that cost over $100, and I spent way too much. I spent, I think I spent about $280 or so after tax. But I never pick up limited run things, and you got to pick them up right here, right there, and a lot of these ones are digital games that never got a physical release. I made sure to get the exclusive ones that weren't released, you know, in Best Buy or things like that. Maybe 1 or 2 of these were released in Best Buy. I'm not sure. I don't care that much, but I thought it was pretty cool, and I got to pick up some titles that I've been really actually wanting to add to the collection. So the first one, and one that I actually kind of regret picking up, because I found out after I got this that there's a lot of frame rate issues, and it's really not that great of a port, especially on the Switch. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. Now this is the the New York City exclusive cover or whatever. It's actually a pretty cool looking cover. I've always wanted to play Lollipop Chainsaw, and I bought this with the full intention of opening it up and playing it until I found out that it really was not that great of a port. So because of that, I'm probably going to keep it sealed, just because I'd probably be better off playing it on the 360. But it's a pretty sick cover, actually. I thought it was pretty cool, and it was a limited thing. Not to delve in and give into FOMO, but pretty cool nonetheless, though I wish I didn't pick it up. Now, one that I do think is really cool. This is Contra Operation Galuga. This is a game I've been wanting to buy for quite a while, and this is the convention exclusive cover. That's a sick cover. I'm telling you, if these companies came out and made covers like this, it'd be like the 80s, man. I mean, back when you bought games based strictly on what the cover and back art looked. I'm a sucker for that to this day. If you have a sick looking cover, it'll increase my chances of delving in and taking a chance on your game. But I've heard pretty good things about this Contra game. I love the original Contra. I played Super C all the time on my NES when I was growing up, and I do plan on popping this open at some point, but it looks pretty cool, and I'm excited to have this. Now, Happy Console Gamer released a video on this, oh gosh, like a couple months back. This is the Cosmic Fantasy Collection, and this is an RPG series that was first released, I believe, on the PC Engine, and only released in Japan, with the exception of, I think either the first or the second one was released over here in the States. I think it was the first one. It's an RPG series that I had never heard of, and of course I am a sucker for RPGs that I have never heard of, especially older ones, and so I had to pick this up. It was at the Limited Run store, so I could pick it up right then and there, and so I did. I do definitely plan on opening this, and they just announced the second one of these, Collection 2, Cosmic Fantasy Collection Volume 2, which is out currently on pre-order for Unlimited Run. I may actually dip in and pre-order that on their website. Oops. But yeah, super cool to have this. This has been a game I've wanted for a while. This is Arzette, the Jewel of Fairmore, and this is inspired by the old Zelda CDI games, Zelda Wands of Gamelon and Link's something. This is a wild game. I mean, they do the old, really like Microsoft Paint looking cutscenes and the bad voice acting. As you can see, I've opened this one up and I'm playing it currently and having a blast with it. Surprisingly so. I thought, if anything, this would be more of a novelty, but I'm really enjoying the character designs, oddly enough, and the gameplay is quite fun and quite addicting. Something that you can't quite say about the CDI counterparts. But yeah, this was at the store too. I guess this is a limited cover. I didn't care. I just wanted to finally have this to the collection, so to be able to pick this up and not pay for shipping is always a wonderful thing. Another game that I've been hearing lots about is Animal Well, and they had this at the store. I bought this, I played it, and I beat it, all in just a couple sittings. It was a really endearing, sweet game, and I have so much respect for the guy who did this and did the music by himself, just using analog synths and stuff like that. Just really cool. It's a project of love, and for that alone, I have much respect for it. And it's a very interesting take on the Metroidvania series. There's a whole big post game, and to get the true ending, you have to like 100% complete it. That's too much to ask of me, so I don't plan on doing that. But I did do a significant part of the post game. But it's a good game. It was nominated for one of the games of the years or one of the video game awards, and it lost out to, I can't remember, but it lost out to someone. I don't think it won any rewards, which is actually quite a shame because it's a good game. And at the limited run store, they actually had a very cool thing in the downstairs section, and I met a cool guy there as well. We met and we started talking, and he told me that they were doing some signings for some things. They had the original creators of Shantae, they had the guy who brought over Turok, ported Turok, and they had one of the developers of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think Shredder's Revenge or something like that. So I went down there, I met all of them. The Shantae family were the sweetest people from the West Coast like myself, and I got them to sign a Shantae card here, and same with Turok, and then I got one of the developers of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and so that was such a really pleasant treat. I'm so happy to have had the opportunity to meet those people. And finally, one last thing. Oh boy. Vulcan ASS 117A Assault Suit. This, for those of you who don't know, is a modern Retrobit re-release of the Vulcan game that was originally released here as a different title, I can't remember. But it features a whole new translation that is based on the Japanese or the original Japanese version. So we did not get this translation over in the States. And I love the Retrobit re-releases. I've become quite a fan of them. So when I saw that they had this, because this has been sold out for a while, I definitely had to pick this up. I have the Mega Man one, I think that was Retrobit, and then I have a couple of the Genesis ones, which I also think were Retrobit, but such a cool little thing here, and super excited to have this in my collection. I hope that they do many more of these. If you guys haven't checked out these Retrobit Super Nintendo Genesis re-releases, please do. They're super high quality, and they're reasonably priced as well. I mean, $80 for a giant collector's edition is pretty cool in my book. Okay, that is all of the pre-Black Friday pickups. Now we're going to delve into everything that I picked up on Black Friday, and unfortunately, or for better or for worse, it was quite a lot. So I had to sell a lot of stuff from my collection. I probably spent about $1,000 on Black Friday amidst everything, and I sold about $1,000 worth of video games as well. That's one of the nice things about building up a collection over so many years is you can kind of just trade trade things for different things, so you're really not spending too much money out of pocket. At least that was the case this time. That is not the case every time. So, starting off with some Switch games. I didn't pick up too many Switch games for Black Friday. I got Balatro. This is the Game of the Year nominee, the game everybody's been raving about, and I can understand why. It's very, very addicting, and it's quite a lot of fun. I beat one of the rounds on here, and I mean, I was playing till 3 o'clock in the morning. It's extremely addicting, though I wouldn't have nominated it for Game of the Year. That was kind of a surprise to me, since it really is just a card game at heart, which is not a bad thing by any means. But it's a really, really fun game. The art is pretty cool, and unique spin on poker. I mean, a roguelike poker. Pretty cool, I thought. One of the games that I very much regret getting rid of is Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition on the Nintendo Switch. I sold this years ago. I don't know why, because I really was surprised by this game. I really, really enjoyed it. And Woot, which is an Amazon owned website, had a reprint of these for $40, and this game was going for is above MSRP. It's been out of print for a while, and people are kind of just now starting to realize that this is kind of the best Hyrule Warriors game, even compared to the Breath of the Wild ones and whatnot. And yeah, super excited to have this. I'm going to be popping this open. I just found out about the UAE, I guess this is the modern equivalent of a greatest hits. I think it's kind of weird. Not weird. I understand why people obsess over it, but it's just so small. It's just a little thing. I don't know. There's so many people who avoid picking up games if they have this little green, white, and blue label. I don't know. It's so small. It's not like the blatant yellow player's choice, in your face on the GameCube. But that's just my opinion. But I don't care. Regardless, I just want to play the game. I'm so happy to have this. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. I have been waiting for this one to drop down to under $30 for years now, because I just did not want to spend that much on it. I remember playing one of these games on the GameCube that I rented from Hollywood Video back in the day, and I just couldn't get into it. So the Battle Network series never had a very positive taste in my mouth, but for $30 and you get 10 different games, I figured it might be worth a chance to give it a try. So for under 30 bucks, absolutely. And the last Switch pickup is Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. This dropped down to 20 bucks on Target for Black Friday and comes with a little book in the game. I've heard so many great things about this. I mean, it's a new Monkey Ball game. We haven't had a new Monkey Ball game in quite a long time that wasn't a rehash of old courses and whatnot. This is completely brand new. I've played through several of the worlds and I'm having a blast with it. I really like that Sonic spin ball speed dash kind of thing that they have going on in here. I think that's really fun, and it's just a really all-around really fun game, and one that I will be playing on the plane most likely on my way back to Oregon for the holidays. So those are all of the Nintendo Switch pickups. Now we'll move on to VGP. So I've mentioned VGP here a couple times on the channel. Every Black Friday they seem to re-release some old 3DS and DS games, and you never know which one they're going to be. And you're always left wondering, how are they getting these reprints? It's so strange to me. But they had two in particular that I really wanted. I wish I would have went back and picked up a couple more, but oh well. So the first one was Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth. This was brand new. It was under $30, and I had to pick it up. I have stayed away from the Persona Q series, mainly because I didn't like the chibi art style. I thought it would be kind of dumb. But for under $30, I was like, I'd give it a try, and I opened it. I mean, for under $30, who cares? And it's so cool to kind of get the experience of opening up an old 3DS game again. But I've played several hours of it and I'm loving it. In fact, it's very akin to like the original Persona series. I mean, very much Etrian Odyssey like, but like Persona 1 and 2, kind of that old school difficulty. Like it's a hard game. I'm playing on the hardest difficulty mode, but I'm having a lot of fun. The music is amazing. It is so kickin'. And it's also really cool to see the old Persona 3 and 4 characters again. I just beat Persona 3's Reload recently, so I'm playing through the Persona 3 timeline here, and I'm having a blast. I'm looking forward to playing more of this, and it'll either be between Monkey Ball or this game on the flight home. So very, very happy to have this in my collection. And now I need to keep an eye out for Persona Q2, which is the rare of the two games, unfortunately. But yeah, if you passed on this like me, weren't a fan of the chibi art style, maybe give it a chance. It's I think it's worthy of your time. And the big one that everybody was wanting, Etrian Odyssey Nexus. I believe this is the final Etrian Odyssey game released on the 3DS, and VGP came out, released this brand new like a launch edition with a big box and a keychain and some things inside. This was like $50, I think, and this was selling out instantly. But they kept doing periodic restocks throughout, you know, a period of a week or so, and I managed to get one of them, so I picked this. They also had all of the other Etrian Odyssey 3DS games. Unfortunately, I didn't pick those because I was already spending a lot of money, and I didn't want to spend more. But I wanted this one because it's the cool box. It's a cool box. See, I'm telling you, with the cool box arts, that's enough to convince me to buy anything. But yeah, I've heard great things about the Etrian Odyssey series. I've never played them before, but I'm kind of having my first experience with Etrian Odyssey through Persona Q, and I'm enjoying it on there. So maybe it's a series I would like, though I heard they're not very story heavy, which I really like story. At least Nexus isn't. But yeah, very cool to have this in my collection. And again, it's just so cool finding old, brand new 3DS and DS games. I mean, sign me up. Sign me up. Okay, so PlayStation 5 was the big one this Black Friday. There were so many great deals on the PlayStation 5. And I went ham. So before we delve into those games, I'm a sucker. I'm one of the suckers who got baited into buying a PSVR 2. It was on sale for $350 with Horizon Zero Dawn, and I just caved in. I caved in and I did it. I have been an enthusiast of VR for a long time, but I've never been able to get into it. I've owned like 2 different Oculus headsets. I owned one of the first Oculus Rifts, and I owned a MetaQuest, which I sold, part of my big selling frenzy to help pay for this. And I didn't know what to expect, but upon trying this for the first time, I had a very big smile on my face. There was a noticeable difference between this and the old VR headsets that I had been trying. The OLED display is stunning on this, and the headset was extremely comfortable, for me anyway. And it feels like we're almost there. It still feels like we're not quite there yet, though. To where VR could potentially make it mainstream. There's, you know, this has some old lenses that are not the best, and it's still kind of expensive. I mean, even on sale for $350, that's still a lot of money. And the PlayStation 5 is still not powerful enough to really push out amazing looking graphics on this thing. Granted, they look better than anything I've seen on VR. But after I bought this, some news came out that Sony was putting some more research into making the PSVR 2 use hand tracking instead of using the controllers, and that just gave me a bunch of hope. It makes me think maybe this Black Friday, a whole bunch of people bought this, and now Sony's gonna get a second wind and try to pump some more stuff into PSVR 2, because PlayStation has some amazing games for this system, ranging from Resident Evil, Gran Turismo, a whole bunch of other games, Horizon Zero Dawn, some really big quality titles that you can really only find on PlayStation. And so that was the main reason why I bought this instead of a MetaQuest 3. I almost bought a MetaQuest 3, but the big titles and one game in particular was why I bought this PlayStation VR 2, and you're about to see that. You know, we'll just jump to it right now. Gran Turismo 7. To no one's surprise, this is kind of the system seller for PSVR 2. And sure enough, it's amazing. It's really, really cool. I did buy a Logitech steering wheel this Black Friday too, but it's so big, I just didn't want to haul it out, but it was on a crazy good deal for Black Friday, so I had to pick that up as well. And I've been playing that with Gran Turismo, and it's pretty realistic. Even my little cheap setup, it's quite something. And living in New York City, I don't get to drive as much as I want to, so this kind of gives me the illusion that I'm away from the city, and it feels really, really nice and makes me want to leave the city. But this is a great showcase of PSVR 2, and really kind of showed me what they could do with this system, and this game alone makes the PlayStation VR 2 completely worth it, for me anyway. Now, Sandland is a game that Happy Console Gamer also reviewed, and he praised this. It's based on an old, I believe, manga, and this is like the first game they've ever made of Sandland, I think. Like, it's been a dead, from what I can recall, a somewhat dead IP for many, many years, and so they're bringing it back with this, and I believe it's an RPG. I'm still not quite sure what the exact gameplay is. It's almost like Mad Maxy looking. But yeah, it was on sale for $20. I figured absolutely worth it. I have a feeling this will probably be a harder game to find anyway. But I love the art style, of course. And yeah, $20. I know you see this, but I have to do things in order here. Metal Gear Solid 1, the game with lots of controversy behind it. The ports weren't that great. Supposedly, they just have released a whole bunch of patches that kind of make this game a little more bearable now. I wasn't going to get it on the Switch because the whole game is not on the cartridge, so I decided to go PlayStation 5. This was on sale for $19. At that point, if they really did patch this and fix all the issues, I mean, a complete no-brainer. I haven't played any of the Metal Gear Solid series before, so this is a really great entry point for me, personally. So I am excited to delve into this once the holidays are over. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to have this. And Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection. This was $19.99 from Best Buy. I have already played through Uncharted 4, but I have not played through the Lost Legacy, which is the other game included on here. And I've been meaning to. I have it on PlayStation 4, but for $20 to get these many upgrades, I figured it would be worth the $20. And it's one of the few games on PlayStation 5 that actually do 120 frames a second, so that's pretty cool. But I loved Uncharted 4. That was, if not the first PlayStation 4 game I played, it was one of the first PlayStation games I played. And it was a complete surprise to me with how much I loved it. So, really excited to delve into this as well. And finally, GameStop had their buy two, get one free. And one of the games that I got there was Gran Turismo 7. And all these, it equaled out to, basically I got Gran Turismo 7 for free. But I got The Last of Us Part 1, I played through about halfway of the original Last of Us on PlayStation 4, but I never played through the whole thing, and I've been wanting to get back to it. And I remember when this came out, people were like, oh, it doesn't need a update, but looking at the comparisons, I mean, this is most definitely a remake. Like, this looks significantly better than even the PlayStation 4 version. So for about $19.99 or $25 or so at the GameStop sale, I figured, why not? I do plan on playing this at some point. I can't handle scary games, but I was able to kind of get through Last of Us. And a surprise for me, I was looking for VR games because I just bought the PlayStation VR 2, and I found Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition. And I saw the price and I was like, ooh, that's a lot of money. And I was like, maybe it's a little harder to find or something. Maybe that's why. And I looked it up, and this game goes for over $100, the ESRB version. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that. I guess they didn't make too many copies of this, and it's also kind of one of the main apps for PSVR 2. So yes, I went and bought that as a part of the buy two get one free sale. So that was cool. It's always kind of cool to find a little hidden treasure at GameStop. I feel like that's kind of today's equivalent to finding something at Goodwill, because it's hard to find things at Goodwill anymore. Now it seems like you have better luck finding things at GameStop. But yeah, this was super cool. I haven't played this yet, but it is downloaded on my system, and I'm super excited. Take a shot every time I say super excited, but I'm super excited. That's like 3 shots for you right there, to play this and to experience it with my PlayStation VR 2. And sorry, my voice is starting to become raspy. I'm probably doing way too much talking right now, but I wanted to get this out before the holidays. The last game I picked up, this was not a part of the buy two get one free sale, is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I just recently finished the first Jedi Fallen Order. I think that the first one of this series. Loved it. I beat it because I bought this. I was about halfway through, and this was on sale for $20, so I went back, played through that, and started playing this. This is a night and day difference compared to the first one. I mean, it's just so much smoother, it's so much more polished. I know they said the PlayStation version had some rough patches, but I mean, maybe the original Fallen Order had more rough patches, so to me it seems really good. But I'm having the time of my life with this. This has been such a pleasant surprise and just a wonderful addition to the Star Wars series, and it fills in the void that I have from the inevitable delay of Jedi Knight 2 that they announced several years back, the remake. So yeah, really, really cool. Now, for those of you vinyl freaks, this was the Christmas holiday Black Friday event of vinyl. Every single year I go all out because they go all out on getting rid of vinyl. And vinyl, especially video game vinyl, is so gosh darn expensive that I just very rarely pick it up. So during Black Friday, they seem to, I mean, some of these were on sale for as low as like $10. So no-brainers to me. So actually, before we get to the vinyl, Square Enix had a Black Friday sale as well, and it was basically half off a lot of things, and I decided to get a couple of vinyl. They had a couple of vinyl, and they had a couple of other things, and one of them was something that I've wanted for a while. This is Final Fantasy XVI, the Shiva figure with Jill Warwick, I believe her last name is. Jill is one of my favorite video game characters of all time and my favorite Final Fantasy character of the modern era. Just the way that they wrote her and gave her a design, I just fell in love with. And I never buy figures. I only buy figures for things that I really, really, really like. As you can see here, I got the Final Fantasy VII one. I thought that was super cool, and finding the girl character, who I am blanking on the name, Jessie. Finding Jessie as a figure was super cool because Jessie is one of my favorite characters of all time as well. So I had to get this, and I actually have another figure coming in on the way that was on sale. But this was super cool. Super, super cool. And I'm so happy to have this in my collection. And it was like $30, so pretty cool. Okay, getting onto the vinyl. So this was on the Black Friday sale at Square Enix as well. This is Bravely Default, and I want you to take a look at this cover. Look at that cover. It's like holographic. I had no idea that it looked like this. It's super cool. I've listened to the whole thing. It's very well pressed. It's very high quality. Bravely Default does not have my favorite tracks of all time, but there really are a couple of killer tracks on this album, especially the last song, Onward Into Light. It's a vocal track, which is really cool. But this, again, was under $20, and finding any Square Enix pressing for under $30, $40 is next to impossible, so had to get this. This was the surprise of the year for me with music. This, another Square Enix pressing, Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. Now, I almost didn't get this, but it was on sale for like $14. And I used to play Final Fantasy XIV when it first came out. Not A Realm Reborn, but the original Final Fantasy XIV. And I really did enjoy it. I had no memory of the music, and for me, when I think of an MMO, I think of something that's subpar, and I know that's not the best thing to immediately come to the conclusion of, but that's just kind of what I figured. But I've heard really good things about the new Final Fantasy XIV, and specifically Endwalker. Everyone had been raving about it, so I decided, you know, I'll take a chance. I'll take a chance on this for $14. Now, the pressing is, once again, super high quality. It's really wonderful cover art. The music in here is amazing. I have had this album on repeat for the past 2 weeks. I am shocked, and there's so many vocal tracks on here as well, and they kind of have that late 90s, early 2000s vibe about them. It's really, really cool. This record has made me want to go and play Final Fantasy XIV, and I think that's a testament to how great the music is, and that's also something that I haven't done in a while. I used to listen to music before I played games, and a lot of times the music would kind of be the deciding factor of whether or not I decided to delve into a game. And, well, I think it's happening again, because I really want to play Endwalker now. Highly recommend. Even if you're not an MMO fan, give this album a chance, please. Or just go and listen to Final Fantasy XIV on YouTube. It's really something. So, Materia, I think it's called Materia Collective, they had their very big sale, Black Friday sale. They have one every year, and every single hour they drop a whole bunch of records for dirt cheap, and then the next hour it's a new batch, and they sell out super, super quickly. One of the drops was all Persona. I mean, wow. And all of these Persona albums were under $20. I think a couple of them were $22. That's insane for Persona stuff. So, the first one I got is Persona 3 Portable. The soundtrack for that comes on I believe a pink vinyl right there. It's a good album. Not my favorite. But I do enjoy it, and it just comes with, to my knowledge, the tracks that are exclusive to the portable version. But I really love the cover on this. Just a single album, and this was like $17 or something like that. And it usually, I think it's over 30, 33, something like that. But I mean, come on. I'm always excited to add Persona to my collection. I have the complete box set of 1 through 5. And now I can add that, because I've been looking for that and this for quite a while. This is the Persona 4 Golden. This was also another $17 little pickup, and I love the Persona 4 Golden soundtrack. I'm playing through Persona 4 Golden right now, and this comes on a yellow, it's actually a pretty cool yellow gold kind of record there, and this is one that's been on my watch list for a long time, and I just never got around to picking up, and it's kind of cool how they do the TV thing right there. But highly recommend this one. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Yeah. And they also had Persona 3 Dancing All Night, or Dancing in Moonlight. I listened to this, not my cup of tea. I did not enjoy this. I didn't enjoy the remix versions, but that's just personal taste. It is a cool looking album cover though. This was like $20, and of course they also had Persona 4. I haven't opened this because I didn't like this, so I'm assuming I'm not gonna like this. Maybe I'll open this one someday, but they're very high quality pressings. And so for that alone, they're really cool. And although not video game related, they had a huge sale on Studio Ghibli records. Now, these records, Studio Ghibli, they release records at just crazy prices because we have to import them. So they're usually around $60 to $70+. They had all of the Ghibli, however you pronounce it, records on sale for like $20 each, around there. So I picked up 3. I almost picked up more, but again, I was spending so much at this point, I was like, I have to cut it off at some point. So I got the brand new A Boy and His Heron, or Boy and the Heron soundtrack, the newest film, and the film I liked. I liked the film. The music was not very memorable to me, so I thought maybe if I picked up the record and just listened to the music, I would have a different opinion. But no, I don't. I think this is, in my opinion, one of the weaker soundtracks in the Ghibli collection, and Joe Hisaishi as well. It's still nice, but this is something that honestly I'll probably never play again. But it is cool, and it would look good on a wall. And of course, 2 classics. My Neighbor Totoro. I love this soundtrack. It's such a wonderful pressing and a wonderful film. The music is really, really nice, and I've listened to this a couple of times as well. I've wanted this for a long time, but they're either sold out or over $50, $60, and I just did not want to spend that much money. So on sale for 20-ish or so, absolutely a must buy. And Kiki's Delivery Service. This one has eluded me for the past several years. Every time I tried to pick it up, it was always out of stock, or again, $50+. I just couldn't justify spending that. I love this album. I grew up on this movie just like many of you probably did. And so to finally get it at a very reasonable price, I had to pick it up, and I want to hang this one on the wall. There's something about this cover that just looks really, really nice. Quick cut, because I completely forgot to include this. The main thing I was buying off the Square Enix sale is this thing right here. This is quite possibly one of the coolest records I've ever bought. This is the Final Fantasy Orchestral 35th Anniversary compilation, and this thing was on their website for like $100. It was on sale for like $40, and it's extremely expensive for what it is. There's only 2 records in here, but the artwork is what makes this really stand out. I mean, look at this Yoshitaka Amano artwork. Like, you just want to frame this. Of course, this is, it's super high quality. The records sound great, the tracks are amazing, and it is just a truly special piece to have in your collection. So I think this one's sold out. You can't get it on there anymore, at least the last I checked. But super, super cool. I don't know if I would spend over $100 for it, But if you manage to find it for around 40 to 50, I think it's absolutely worth a pickup. So, that is everything. That was a long video. I'm feeling it in my voice. You've got to see a full-on example of watching someone's voice deteriorate over the span of probably about an hour, a full masterclass, and now you all are well educated on what happens when you talk too much, when you're not feeling too great. But I wanted to get this out for you guys because I haven't made a video in quite a long time. I'm very sorry about that. Crazy busy life, crazy stress, and potential career changes and all of that add up, and it's but it's nice to sit in front of this desk and talk to you all again and finally talk about games. But yeah, I'm sorry there's no special holiday special other than the little intro with the tree. Just not enough time and being sick and all that. But I want to thank you all for such a wonderful year. You guys helped me cross the 1,000 subscriber threshold, which is amazing. Something I honestly never thought I would be able to reach by just being a guy in his 20s rambling about who knows what in front of his desk. So I really, really do appreciate you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, holiday season, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, all of the above, and I will see you all in the new year if I don't upload anything after Christmas. But thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one.